All right, welcome to another AutoTrend system trade review video. It's been a while since I've made one of these. I've got a lot of requests to make some new ones, so here we are. Let's have a look at some charts. We're gonna get started with NVDA here. I've posted the NVDA chart on our Twitter page, and seemed like several people wanted to dive deeper into this. We got some emails about it. So let's have a look at the NVIDIA trade, because right off the bat, it seems like a more complicated trade, but it really isn't. So let's break it down. First of all, we have the ATS trend validator. This is the higher time frame AutoTrend system plotted on our lower time frame chart. So I have a 4-hour chart of NVIDIA here open, and the ATS trend validator is running the AutoTrend system of the 1-week chart. Okay, so typically we use the higher time frame that is 1 time frame or 2 time frames above the one that we have on our chart. So since we're using the 4-hour chart, we can use the daily or the weekly time frame. I prefer to use the weekly on high beta stocks, on big cap stocks like NVIDIA. So let's have a look at what happened. Since the ATS trend validator is blue, that means that we're only looking for long trades. So we are ignoring any short signals. So this one, we're ignoring it. This one, we're ignoring it because it's red. That is in conflict with the blue trend validator. So we're only interested in the blue signals, in the buy signals. So right away, we're eliminating two potentially losing trades here, this one and this one, because we're not taking shorts. We're filtering our signals so that we're only focusing on the long signals that the AutoTrend system gives us. So that's number one. That's the first thing. So then let's have a look what happened. We got two signals. Obviously, we can already see this really big trend that developed after we got this signal, but what about these ones? According to our strategies, we need to take every signal that confirms by price. So we would have taken this one, and the results would have been two very, very small losing trades. Why do I call them small? Let's have a look at that, because it will become clear, and it's not obvious to someone who has not watched our video course on how to use the AutoTrend system. So first of all, this is a new buy signal. According to our strategy, we need to enter as soon as the high of this bar is broken by a next bar. This can be the very next bar, or it can be any of the subsequent bars, unless the color changes, right? So what we can see here, let me zoom in so you can really see it. What we can see here is that the next bar broke above the high of our signal bar. That means that we would have been triggered long. This would be our long entry. Let me put here this so we can clearly visualize it. This would have been our long entry, and our stop loss needs to go just below the prior swing low. So our stop loss would have been just below this one right here. Just here, right? And the target, we're not going to get into targeting in this video. It's a whole other subject, but let's say we're targeting just a very simple 2-to-1 risk reward. So we're risking $1 to make 2. So our target would be right here. Obviously, that trade did not work out. Why didn't it work out? Because we got a sell signal shortly after. According to our rules, if we get a sell signal, so an opposite signal of the one that we're following, at that point we need to exit our trade. The sell signal goes into effect when the bar closes, so when the signal bar closes, which is right here. So right away, instead of taking a full stop loss, we are taking something like a 2/3 of our initially predicted stop loss. So right here, that would have been our first attempt to go long on this signal. We would have been stopped out for, let's say if we're risking 1% of our account, we would have been stopped out for something like 0.6% of our account. And that's okay. Again, we're ignoring the short signal because the ATS trend validator is blue, and we're waiting for a new buy signal. The new buy signal occurs right here. This is the new buy signal, and according to our rules, we need to wait for the next bar to break above the high of the signal bar, which is this one. This is the bar that does that. And again, exactly like before, we're doing the same thing. We're entering here just as the highs are broken. and our stop loss needs to go just below the prior swing low, which is here. You see price moved up, moved down, and then moved up again, this leaving behind this prior swing low. So our stop loss can go just below here. And again, we're targeting something conservative, let's say 2-to-1 risk to reward. Obviously, that didn't work out, right? Because price moved higher for a little bit, giving us something like 1.5 risk to reward ratio. So if you had scaled out some money out of this, you could have made some profit. Just for the sake of this example, we're just going to assume that our take profit was not hit. Okay, instead we got a short signal shortly after. But we would have already been out of this trade because the price hit our stop loss level here before the short signal went into effect. So in this case, we would have lost 1% of our account. So in total, we would have lost with this trade and this trade 1.6% of our account. And that's absolutely 100% normal trading. Okay, the last thing I want to do is present you with only winning signals and have you believe that every signal works out. Absolutely not. That's not the case either with this system, the AutoTrend system, or with any other system in the entire world. If anybody tells you about a trading strategy that wins 100% of the time or 90% of the time or even 80% of the time, that's not quite realistic. So we will have losing signals, but there is a very important distinction here. If we stick with the strategy, eventually we will capture these really big, nice, sustained moves that happen once in a while, like this one on NVDA. What happened here? Well, exactly the same as before. Nothing changed. We didn't do anything special. We got a buy signal right here. If the next bar or a subsequent bar breaks the high of our buy signal bar, which is this one, then we enter long. And that's exactly what we did, right? So the entry is here. So you would have either been triggered by this bar or this bar, because this is the one that broke above the highs of the signal bar. So let's just say that you would have filled long here. The stop loss needs to go just below the prior swing lows, which are here, this one. You can also put it just below this swing low. It doesn't really matter. They're very close together. And then basically you're riding the trend. That's it, until you get a sell signal. Obviously, we have some very specific ways of taking profits, and this is covered extensively in the video training course that is included with the AutoTrend system, so I'm not going to go into massive detail here, but basically what we're doing is we're taking profits along the way, leaving a partial piece of our position always to run until we get an exit signal. So we would have taken profits along the way as the trade reached 2-to-1 risk to reward, 4-to-1, 6-to-1, and leaving some a piece for a really big move that is currently happening in NVDA. So not only did we stick to our strategy, but also we completely paid for our two very small losing trades with one very big trend that we were able to capture with the AutoTrend system. And we were only able to capture this trend because we were following the strategy. We were not deterred by the losing signals. We were aware that they can happen, and they do happen. And that's not a problem. So we just follow the strategy, follow the system, and take the steps necessary. It's completely objective. There's nothing really to debate about, oh, should I take that signal? Should I take this signal? Maybe I should skip this one. Maybe price action is doing that. With the AutoTrend system, we try to keep things very, very simple and objective. There are other ways of trading, and we do use patterns and setups and all sorts like that, and they work wonderfully well. But when you want to trade a system that is just very clear, black and white, or in this case, red and blue, then you just have to follow the rules and stay in the game. And if you stay in the game long enough, then you will capture moves like this, like we had on NVIDIA here. Another nice example is Tesla on the hourly chart. This was an easier one because we didn't get multiple signals. Instead, we got just one clean signal, a buy signal by the AutoTrend system that was in full alignment with the ATS trend validator, so the longer time frame trend, one buy signal, one entry, one trade, and basically we got a nice, very nice uptrend following that trade. So not every time it's going to be that we have to take multiple trades before we get a big one like we just saw on NVIDIA. Sometimes it's just simple, one signal, one trade, and one win, right? So it really depends on the situation. Not every trade that you take is going to be different. Some are going to be easier, like the one on Tesla, and some are going to be a little bit more challenging, like the trades we had in NVIDIA. But the bottom line is, the point I'm trying to make across in this video is that you have to stick with the strategy. You have to stick with the strategy and trust it for at least a large enough series of trades so that you can get some data, so that you can see it working out over a large enough sample. Too often people get started with either this system or other systems and they give up too quickly. They might get 2 losing trades in a row, or 3 or 5. It's not enough to evaluate a system. You have to let it play out. And it's really unfortunate when people give up too quickly, because if they would just keep going, they would soon realize that they have an edge. They have an edge here, and they just have to follow that edge and follow the system so that their edge has enough time to materialize. I hope that makes sense. It's just like a casino, right? A casino has a roulette table, they have poker tables, they have slot machines, and if a person goes over there and wins, let's say 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 games in a row, the casino is not going to close its doors. It's not going to be like, oh well, that doesn't work. We're just going to close the business. It doesn't work like that. Probabilities are on their side, so they have to let them play out. And it's exactly the same with trading. You have a strategy, you have a system. You just have to let the probabilities play out. And follow the strategy, follow the system. The one we have here, the AutoTrend system, is very clear. As I said, it's black and white or red and blue if you follow the colors of the system, right? You don't have to make some subjective decisions. Does this look bullish? Does this look bearish? With this system, you just have to follow the signals and follow the strategy. So I hope this review video was helpful. Let me know if you are enjoying this. I can make more of them. It's been a while since I made one. I've been quite busy with trading and other projects, but hopefully I'll have some extra time to make this nice short review videos. I'll try to keep them even shorter. I tend to talk too much and repeat things over and over again, so I'll work on trying to make them short and sweet. I think it's more enjoyable as well for you to watch them. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.